Freedom Tire is proud to be the title sponsor of supporting Jaguar student athletes through Centennial Digital. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping your family safely on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Come see us at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of Centennial Digital.
All the pets in Ankeny can't wait to see us at Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital. Located just south of Uptown, our family-owned and operated practice has yearly plans with monthly pay options. Your dog or cat can get routine and preventative care before you may ever even know they are sick. From dental care to x-rays to our own pharmacy, we love them like our own. Your pets are our pets at Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital.
What if you could create memories that would last a lifetime? That would be pretty cool. Well, now you can.
West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats, steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts, all raised on local Iowa farms. Shopping local never tasted so good.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire. It is time to kick off the 2025 sports seasons here for streaming. Brought to you tonight on the Central Iowa Sports Network here on YouTube. And tonight it is number 4 in Class 5A, Ankeny Centennial, taking on Indianola unranked. But don't let that fool you. Indianola graduated 11 seniors off last year's team, and really the reason for them not being ranked is because of the unknown.
Absolutely. The slates are wiped clean for both these teams coming in tonight. Obviously, they played a lot of each other through these scrimmages that a lot of these teams have in the preseason, so they're going to be well aware of what each of these teams are going to be bringing. But the opportunity to have these games start to count for the first time in the season.
So as we look at the Jags tonight, Austin, as we look at what's going on there, really they bring back the bulk of the defensive production. They're going to get a lot of touches on the balls. Defensive-wise, they've got a great back row led by Maya Leigh Butters. What do you do when you're building a team around defense? You've been a coach for a long time.
Well, you got to keep the ball in play, let them make the mistakes. But, I mean, there's going to have to be some underclassmen here step up on the outside. And in the middle, we lost a lot of firepower from that team last year. So we're going to look for who's going to be able to step up on the outside and in the middle to take up some of that slack from the graduating senior class from last year.
So as we look at those middles, we're going to talk about Sophie Heather, a junior coming back off last year's team. Played a lot last year, started in the middle. You also have Maddie Ott coming off an all-state softball season, once again coming off an all-state softball season. She's an outstanding middle hitter. And then you've got really who this team's going to be built around, and that's the setters, Tatum Schmidt and Megan Cheeseman. A couple long setters. Cheeseman at 6'1" comes in there, and they can both play front row, back row. It's a 6'2", but also gives you a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, that 6'2", they've been running a lot of that early fall here in those scrimmages I've gotten a chance to watch. Both of them hitting at certain points in the front row. I tell you what, Schmidt had some crushing outside opposite hits on that scrimmage I saw on Saturday. So she could definitely be a weapon with her hands and with her arm as well.
And then on the outside, that's where you've got to replace Delaney Miller and Jaden Pratt, who have started between the two of them. They covered 6 years of hitters for Ankeny Centennial, had a ton of success, two of the premier hitters in the state. And it looks like tonight Coach Jess Reinhardt's going to go with Ellie Pollack and Bailey Snyder to try to replace them. And you don't replace them. The last couple of years, everything's run through the outsides. You're looking for a couple girls who can keep the ball in right now and extend it because you've got hitters all over the floor.
Absolutely, absolutely. You called it right out. There's going to be some inexperience just in that starting lineup as hitters. But both have had great club seasons coming into it. So the experience is there, just it may not be on the high school floor. So we're looking forward to seeing how they can contribute tonight for sure.
We're going to take a break and be back with our Cinerama starting lineups right after this. This is Centennial Volleyball on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Freedom Tire is proud to be the title sponsor of supporting Jaguar student athletes through Centennial Digital. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping your family safely on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Come see us at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of Centennial Digital.
We're here at US Cellular, Frost Days, where our customers get exclusive deals just for them. It's like we got our own special club. Should we show them?
Get $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet. Us Days at US Cellular.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Garage Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats, steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts, all raised on local Iowa farms. Shopping local never tasted so good.
Welcome back. It's time now for our Cinerama starting lineups, brought to you by Cinerama Ankeny, your full-service sign and graphics company. The crowd right now is watching the hype video, which we will have eventually. You'll get to see that too, but we will talk more about the Jags as the night goes on. Very excited to get this season started. And time soon for our starting lineup. Cinerama Ankeny, like I said, is your full-service sign and graphics company. They design, produce, and install all types of interior and exterior signs, window designs, vehicle wraps, and more. Visit them at cinerama-ankeny.com. It's time now for your Cinerama starting lineups. We head down very soon to the voice tonight of the Jaguars, Sir Rodney Tomlinson.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to Centennial High School and the Jungle. From game provides each of us an opportunity to demonstrate how much we appreciate their efforts and dedication. Together, we can all set the standard for good sportsmanship. We encourage you to cheer on your team and refrain from negative comments and acts towards opponents, coaches, and officials. Thank you for your cooperation. And now, let's meet tonight's lineups. First, here are the non-starters for the Indians. Number 3, Emily Benj. Number 4, Grace Dooley. Number 7, Leah Offenberger. Number 9, Haley New. And number 16, Gabby Sloan. Here are the non-starters for your Jaguars. Number 3, Emma Vandenhall. Number 4, Nora Bacchus. Number 6, Kaylin Reinhardt. Number 11, Addie Reyes. Number 15, Sydney Rogers. And number 16, Sophia Heather. And now it's time to introduce tonight's starters. For Indianola, a 5'9" senior, number 2, Lauren Olson. A 5'8" freshman, number 5, Julia McGraw. She's a junior, standing 5'5", number 6, Kennedy Rumley. A 5'11" junior, number 8, Jovi Wilson. A junior standing 6 foot even, number 10, Madison Grover. And a 5'7" senior, number 11, Hadley Vetter. The libero for the Indians, a junior, number 1, Kenna Amsden. Your head coach is Jen McGraw, assistant Kobe Kobeski. And now, here are the starters for your Centennial Jaguars. An outside hitter, a 5'11" junior, number 1, Bailey Snyder. She plays on the outside as well as defensive specialist, 5'8" junior, number 5, Ellie Paula. She's a senior, standing 5'11". She plays center and the right side, number 7, Tatum Schmidt. She patrols in the middle as well as on the right side, a 5'10" senior, number 9, Maddie and a 6'2" senior. She's a setter and on the right side, number 10, Megan Cheeseman. The libero for the Jaguars, a 5'2" senior. She wears number 2, Maya Woolley Butters. Jessica Reinhardt is your head coach, assisted by Gina Brett, Sarah Alberts, and Claire Renton. And now,
all the pets in Ankeny can't wait to see us at Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital. Located just south of Uptown, our family-owned and operated practice has yearly plans with monthly pay options. Your dog or cat can get routine and preventative care before you may ever even know they are sick. From dental dental care to x-rays to our own pharmacy, we love them like our own. Your pets are our pets at Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital.
Look, here's a phone company who wants us to use our phones less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. US Cellular, built for us.
It's a free ride.
But I already paid.
What if you could create memories that would last a lifetime? That would be pretty cool. Well, now you can.
Back here in action at Ankeny Centennial High School. Andy Pollack, Austin Oliver with you here tonight as we get set to go between the Jaguars of Ankeny Centennial and the Indianola Indians in this Class 5A opener tonight. On a Monday night, will be tomorrow night in Ankeny as a big quad happens up there between, we've got Ankeny Christian, the defending state champs in Class 1A a year ago. You've got perennial power Dyke New Hartford, and North Polk will be there as well with their new coach. Look forward to see what the Comets can do this year. But here tonight we've got Jaguars on the mind, and Austin, new coach Jana McGraw for Indianola getting started tonight. What's going to be the key right now for the Indians? Obviously you want to talk about a fast start, but that's easier said than done. It's more about weathering the storm early, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're going to be running that offense through Madison Grover, the junior middle hitter. They're going to look to get some contribution when she's in the back row from their offensive players that are in the front row, because a lot of the scoring will be done when she's in the front row. So they'll look to get those contributions for other members of their team. We know she's going to be a big part of their offense.
Lauren Olson for Indianola out there, as well as Jovi Wilson, Hadley Vetter. The libero is Lauren Olson. Also in the back row, Kennedy Rumley, as well as Julia McGraw, just a freshman playing back there. For the Jaguars, it'll be Megan Cheeseman getting set to serve, Ellie Pollack on the outside, Maya Leigh Butters, the libero, Bailey Snyder in the front row, Tatum Schmidt, and Sophie Heather with the start tonight. As we get set to go to Cheeseman serving for the Jaguars, and the 2025 season is officially underway on the Cheeseman serve. Indianola scrambling a little bit on the opener. They go to the outside off the tip. Jags go to Schmidt. They're again on the outside, little tip covered by Cheeseman. Leigh Butters here on the free ball, and Snyder hits it out of bounds. First point of the season goes to the Indianola Indians. A couple out of system balls for each team there early on, as Indianola will make their first Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution. Gabby Sloan will come in to serve for the Indians.
Like I said, we're going to be watching number 10 for the Indians. She's in the middle of the back row right now. Came in after replacing a defensive specialist. So I'd imagine that we're going to see her hitting out of the middle in the back row as well. So we'll they'll look to get her the ball as much as possible.
Olsen with a kill, hits it through the block on the outside, and Sloan, who is setting from the back row, will come back in to serve again. With Indianola off to a quick lead at 2-0. Sloan, an aggressive server. They're going to go at Pollack in the back row. Another out-of-system ball for the Jags, and Snyder hits it into the net. And a couple errors for the Jaguars early on, and Indianola off to a quick lead. And actually, these two teams played each other at a scrimmage on Wednesday night this week, and Indianola got off to a very fast start in this one before the Jags climbed back into things. Sloan to serve once again. Goes at Pollack. Cheeseman on the right side, and Indians were in the net, and the Jags get their first point on an error on Indianola.
Yeah, it looks like Jovi Wilson called for the net infraction.
KK Reinhardt, the coach's daughter, checks in to serve for the Jaguars. Another Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution. KK, lone sophomore on the team, a very good beach volleyball player. Trying to make a name for herself on the hardwood. Serve sends Sloan back behind the 3-meter line. The tip covered by Cheeseman, and Heather's going to set it. Here on the outside to Pollock, the power tip to the corner, and it was tipped, and the Jaguars get another point to make it 3-2. Pollock with a power tip, aiming for the back corner. I think that's where you're going to see the Jaguars really try to run their offense into tonight. Get to those back corners of the Indianola Indians.
And no complaint for the Indians opposite, so it must have gone right off of her hand.
And a great serve there from Reinhardt, evens things up at 3 apiece. Aggressive serve from KK. Reinhardt on the serve again. Indianola again out of system. They go to the outside and off the tip. Reinhardt keeps it alive in the back row. Jags to Schmidt. Schmidt slices it down the line but kept alive by the Indians. Another big swing this time into the net by Lauren Olson. So after getting down 3-0, the Jags have roared back with 4 straight behind the arm of KK Reinhardt. She continues to serve. Good pass up to Sloan. They go in the middle and miss time there as they try to get it to Wilson.
Yeah, I think Reinhardt's almost going to hit that back line. So they're having some. They're having
very close.
Yeah, they are.
She?
I mean, I keep saying I think it's going to go out of bounds. They're going to let it go, but then it's playable. So it's she is putting it like right on that back line and making them make a decision.
There's a good pass to the Indians. A power tip there, trying to come through for Olson. Schmidt with a tip. Kept alive there in the back by Olson. Jags getting their hands on a lot of balls. Pollock on the outside goes cross court. Nice dig again by Olson. Jags all over the block with Schmidt and Heather in the middle. Heather swipes it across. Sloan there though. Another block for the Jaguars. Getting their hands on everything. They try to go to the back row. Reinhardt keeps it alive. Pollock goes down the line and it's wide.
Great volley by both teams there. Pollock just a little bit too far on that cut. Tried to go down the line. Trying to find some hands there as well. But a great point by both teams.
A lot of scrappiness here through the first 9 points of this one. Olson on the serve. Good pass by Reinhardt. Going to come on the outside. Pollock with a tip right into the donut hole. Pollock, an undersized outside hitter at 5'8", is going to have to be creative in how she manufactures her points on that outside. A little bit different game than we saw out of Pratt and Miller over the last couple of years, but effective here early on. Indianola from the outside off the tip. Leigh Butters keeps it alive. Pollock again goes cross court and another kill.
Set was a little bit off the net, so she had to make do with what she had and did a nice cross-court cut and was unplayable by the Indians.
Tough angle to hit from. I'm not even sure she hit it where she wanted to go, but cut it right down the line.
Absolutely.
3 early kills for Pollock. Leigh Butters, the serve, has Sloan pushed it to the outside, and that ball's hit wide. No touch. Indianola is asking for the touch, but no one for the Jaguars got it. And the Jags have doubled up the Indians early on. Coach McGraw wants a timeout with the Jags on a rally. We'll be back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
We're here at US Cellular, Frost Days, where our customers get exclusive deals just for them. It's like we got our own special club. Should we show them?
Get $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet. Us days at US Cellular.
Leigh Butters serving out of the timeout. Jaguars on a little run right now. After Indianola scored the first 3 points of this one, the Jags have outscored them 8-1. with Leigh Butters back to serve. Some aggressive serving by the Jaguars, some more aggressive serving. Gonna get a free ball over, very short. Schmidt keeps it alive. In the middle they go, and Ott knocks it down. A little pinball there out of the Indians. Maddie Ott, so explosive, a future Division I softball player. One of a group of multi-sport athletes on this Centennial volleyball team as Indianola goes through the middle, dug up though by Reinhardt in the back row. They go in the middle again, and it's blocked by the Jags. Pushed over. Cheeseman keeps it alive. Right side, Schmidt. She's going to get the point. There's that defense of the Jaguars coming through.
Yeah, Reinhardt with a great dig. Able to take that right back over, and Indians had an opportunity to recycle that, maybe get something going. They ran the middle twice, and the Jaguars were ready with both a dig and a block in the same play.
They're trying to get the ball in the middle to Haley New. This time they go on the right side. Reinhardt, just a magnet there on the back row.
Yeah, net
but
violation.
Cheeseman, comes
Cheeseman
underneath the net. And Indianola breaks that serve to make it 10-5 Jags. Kenna Amsden back to serve for Indianola. Reinhardt, they get it over to Schmidt. On the outside again, Leigh Butters keeps it alive, and I thought Ott might have gone up, might have thrown everybody off a little bit when she went up to try to keep that alive.
She's probably thinking I should have gone for it, but went right over and hit the bottom of the net and just dropped right to the floor.
Nice dart thrown there by Reinhardt, but they're all over Ott in the middle. And a block there, I believe that was Grover that got it.
She just got into the front row, so she's going to be, I think she did just get in the front row. Looks like she's almost playing middle right now, but.
Yeah, she is right there in the middle. They're going to try to move her around, and Schmidt just hammers that one down. And that's a part of the game you're going to see out of Schmidt on the right side this year. She can also set. But you're going to see that out of her on the right side. Not too many teams will run their offense through the right side, but Schmidt, probably the best pure hitter on this Jaguar squad this year. Jags lead 11-7.
Yeah, and she's a setter.
Yes. All the tools. And another block for the Jags, but it goes out of bounds as Cheeseman and Ott come together. But Grover tools that one.
All right, so they're running Grover on the outside. So that's what was confusing about that, because I didn't notice her when they ran that double middle twice in a row was not to her, so she's running on the outside. So we'll see if they move her around a little bit. Now she's playing middle, so they definitely are moving her around a little bit.
Pollock tosses it over the top. Then they come on the outside and they tip off the antenna for Indianola. And another Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution. Bailey Snyder checks back in the game. Reinhardt's out after an outstanding first rotation through the back row. Ellie Pollock comes in to serve for the Jags. Familiar spot for her. This is what she did last year. Serving specialist, drops it in the middle. Ball comes over, Leigh Butters keeps it alive. Now coming over to Snyder. Snyder tries to tip it in, and Snyder with her first kill on the varsity for the Jaguars.
Yeah, after a few mishits there on her first rotation, she came back with a smart play there and got the point, got the termination.
Through the middle again, and they are all over Grover in the middle. Scouting report says the offense will run through her.
Yeah, set was a little bit low, made it real easy to block, but they'll want to get that set up there. Grover's a tall gal right there with good reach. They want to get up at the top of her reach so she can hit around that block a little bit more easy.
Well, you've got the very explosive Maddie out in the middle, and then you've got the 6'2" setter and Cheeseman coming from the other side. Again, Leigh Butters keeps it alive. Snyder goes with a tip, and the Jags getting creative once again.
Maddie out with the assist. Steps right in there. Smart play.
You talked about the offense that Indianola is running, and you won't notice as much right now with McGraw in the back row, but it's a 5-2 setup, which you don't see a whole lot of in high school volleyball.
Well, I think they are running a 6-2 because I don't think she is hitting in the front row, but she's hitting out of the strong side on the left side rather than the opposite as typical. So we'll see how it kind of works out. But it is unique that they're moving 9 and 10 from middle to outside, back and forth, which I don't see that very often either. Usually one of your hitters either a middle or maybe they'll hit one rotation on the outside before they switch, but having them kind of move independently here is pretty unique.
Well, it really keeps your defense guessing.
It does.
A big part of it. Tough to cue in on where those hitters are, but right now, Indianola all out of sorts as the Jaguars have more than doubled them up, and Coach McGraw going to take another timeout. 17-8 Jaguars in this best of 5 tonight. We'll be back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic. Don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic.
But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam.
Ugh, and I'm already late.
(17-8). Pollock has served a bunch right now. She goes back to serve once again. It's been Pollock in the back row and Snyder on the outside. Is Indianola long one? It's hit long. And Indianola, they say the Jags were in the net. So Maddie Ott got into the net there, and that kills the rally for the Jags.
Yeah, something was definitely going on. The net was moving up and down, everyone just because it wasn't really sure who it was. So
the ball was hit long, but the net did not stop wiggling after the swing. As that will send Haley New to the back row, one of the members of this talented junior class for the Indians, and she serves it long. Not what you're looking for after a long rally from the Jags. You really don't give yourself much of a chance as Nora Bacchus comes in now to serve in the back row for Ott. And Sophie Heather back in the front row as well for the Jaguars. Going to go in, and they did not get the substitution here. I believe they got the numbers mixed up. 9 and 4 look a lot alike with those boxy numbers right now. I think they flipped them around. So Bacchus is in. Bacchus, a very, very talented wrestler. Top finisher at state, keeps that one really deep, and Indianola has struggled with those deep serves so far as Snyder keeps that alive. They go to Cheeseman. Jags using all the court so far on the offensive end. Big swing and blocked down by Heather.
Big block. And thank God you said that Bacchus was a wrestler, because I was racking my brain. I'm like, I know that name, I know that name, and that makes complete more sense now that you said that. So
Nora was a runner-up at the state wrestling tournament a year ago. Very, very unique combination.
Yeah.
That is now made possible by girls wrestling here in the state of Iowa. Is now to get all these substitutions right, Ott's got to come back in, but then Leigh Butters replaces her in her libero spot in the back row. Grover to serve, goes right at Leigh Butters, and she throws a dart to the setter, and then it's blocked though by Cheeseman gets it blocked, excuse me.
Yeah, Setter will want to push that ball out a little bit further. She pulled in that outside, that opposite hitter, and pulled her right into that middle blocker. So it's a much easier block when it's 2-on-1, kind of inside rather than all the way to the outside.
And you're not forcing any movement by the defense either.
Absolutely not.
It's a Heather in the middle, and Heather just elevated, stayed in the air forever.
Schmidt one-handed set that, just popped that up, gave it just Heather enough time to get a snap down on top of that. Great play by the Jaguars.
The pass was a little tight, but Schmidt kept it alive. They both hung in the air forever. And that is hit through the block there by Olsen, I believe that was.
All right, I'm not sure what Indianola's running here, because that's a third setter that's touching the ball right now. So 11 was just setting, 5's been setting, and now I think it's going to be 16 setting right now. So we got some kind of little hybrid combination, like little custom offense that they've got.
They go in the middle once again. Heather tries to snap it down. Sloan keeps it alive. The little tip there. Nice job by Schmidt to keep it alive. Back row attack. Pollock tries to drop it in, but it's dug up by Olson. Another tip, and Jags in the net once again. A couple of those tonight. This can be attributed early on. Those net calls, a lot of times in practice, are not getting called, and you don't necessarily know you're in it. You don't have the officials at practice. You don't have them at the scrimmages.
Yep, exactly. Scrimmages are no referees. You're just reffing yourself.
Snyder, nice pass there on the serve. They go back to her on the right side. Tries to hit it through the block. It comes back to the Jags. Back row, Pollock hits it down from the back row for a kill.
Clips the edge of that block, and they weren't able to pop that one up after it went off the edge of the block.
Now Reinhardt back into serve. This is where the Jags went on their first run of the night with Reinhardt back there. Very aggressive server. She went deep a lot and does the same thing, and it's right on that line. They're going to have a tough time picking up if that's going to be kept together or not. Cheeseman goes on the outside. Pollock dug up nicely in the back row by Rumley, and then blocked down and out of bounds by Heather and Pollock together. And Indianola will get the point.
Now the two double hits trickle down to high school, right, this year?
Yes,
right.
correct.
Okay,
yep.
So that's trickled down this year. So we'll see the second set. You know, when we have middles outside setting that ball, as long as it stays on the offensive side of the net, that will not be called as it has been in the past. Great.
Heather uses her angles, pushes it down for another kill for Sophie. These two teams have battled against each other all summer long, but it's the Jaguars who have come out hot in game one tonight as Leigh Butters back to serve once again. Indianola's passing has not been great here early on as that ball does not come back in play. And that's really where it's all starting for Indianola right now. They've just struggled to keep balls in system. Not to mention the frustrating defense of the Jaguars. Little tip there, covered up. Nice job by Ott. Very athletic move to keep it alive. And Schmidt tries to snap it down. Indians again go to McGraw and off the net. Threw everything off by going off the net. That changes the angles, makes it really difficult on a defense to pick it up.
Yeah, we'll have Grover coming back into the front row. And then the last rotation they were here, she played on the outside, and number 9, Haley New, stayed on the inside for the middle. And actually New's going to go over the opposite.
That ball got tipped by Indianola, nothing called.
Couple things should have got called there.
Indianola covering the tip much better right now. Big swing and blocked down by Ott. Maddie Ott has been everywhere the hitters have been. Ott and Heather are cued in on these Indianola hitters tonight. Game point number 1, and Indianola would like to chat about this one because the ball by Cheeseman, but she is in the front row, I believe. Oh, now they're going to give it to Indianola, but Cheeseman I thought was she was in the back row on that last one, so it went off Cheeseman and then got tipped by Indianola, so they're saying Cheeseman hit it over the net as a back row player above the net. So that will get reversed. And Amsden will serve that one. Goes on the right side, Schmidt. Amsden keeps it alive in the back. That swing goes over to Reinhardt. On the outside, Pollock, big swing, goes long. Wide, excuse me. 23-17 our score. Amsden back to serve once again.
At Indian captains, we talked that referee into overturning that call. You don't see that very often when they don't call it in the moment and then they call it afterwards, even if it is the right call.
Indianola again all over that campfire in the middle. Big swing, Reinhardt. The block threw her off a little bit. They're going to go on the right side to Schmidt. Indianola's defense moving a little better right now. And the Jags block another one down. That was Ott. Big swing, and Leigh Butters. Schmidt just whips it down.
Yeah, so that'll pull back that point. So now we're back to game point here. So Indianola's made a nice little valiant effort here, the second half of this first game, to be a little bit more competitive.
Yeah, Jags were really pulling away there for a little while. Schmidt has a chance to end it right now. Good pass there to Sloan. Big swing, but Leigh Butters there covering in the back left. They're going to go to Pollock on the outside. Tries to drop in the middle, can't do it. Pushed here on the right side. Big swing, and Reinhardt's there once again. This talented back row of the Jaguars, and Pollock tools the block for game point number 1. Jaguars take it 25-17. We'll be back with game number 2 right after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
We're here at US Cellular, Frost Days, where our customers get exclusive deals just for them. It's like we got our own special club. Should we show them?
Get $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet. Us days at US Cellular.
All the pets in Ankeny can't wait to see us at Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital. Located just south of Uptown, our family-owned and operated practice has yearly plans with monthly pay options. Your dog or cat can get routine and preventative care before you may ever even know they are sick. From dental care to x-rays to our own pharmacy, we love them like our own. Your pets are our pets at Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital.
Coming back out in game number 2 with the Jaguars winning game number 1 25-17. Taking a look at that first game for the Jaguars. Ellie Pollock led the Jags in kills with 5. Bailey Snyder, the other outside, had 4. Tatum Schmidt added 3. And 4 assists for Tatum Schmidt, 7 for Megan Cheeseman. But it's the Jags with 4 blocks from 4 different players in game number 1, and a lot more deflects that they got their hands on. Indianola will start off serving here in game number 2. It is Gabby Sloan. Jaguars out there with Heather, Schmidt, Cheeseman, Leigh Butters, Pollock. And that first serve is out of bounds, so the Jaguars already start off faster than they did in game number 1 when they got down to 0-3. And Reinhardt comes in to serve for the Jags.
Yeah, it looks like the same starting lineup for the Jaguars.
Yeah, looks like they'll keep the same rotation.
Yep, same rotation.
Man, Reinhardt's been really good serving. They go with a power tip. Cheeseman right there for it. And Cheeseman, I believe, was in the net after she tried to get that one.
That was Heather. Heather trying to get that second ball, so she just stepped back a little bit too far and clipped the net with her back.
Lauren Olson will go back and serve for Indianola. Goes at Reinhardt. I think teams are going to change their tune on trying to serve at Kaylin Reinhardt, because she's been really good back there.
Well, at some point, though, you're going to pick your poison, because, I mean, Butters has been a perennial, just rock-solid passer there for the last 3-4 years for the Jaguars. I think she started as a freshman, if I remember correctly, so she's been back there all 4 years as a libero. So you try to look for somebody else to put that ball to, and then here comes Reinhardt to just put a button right onto her setter there, and it's going to be a tough ask to figure out where they're going to want to put that ball.
I love the confidence they have in Sophie Heather, because she had just got blocked the play before, and Cheeseman goes right back to her to get a kill. Indianola tries to go to the right side here, and it is hit in the net by Jovi Wilson. And the Jags off to a quick start. Mile Butters in the first game, serve received a 2.8. The best you can get is 3.
Yeah.
And that is an incredible number. And it's all based on the options that the setter can have after the pass. That ball is off the block and lands down. Ties it up at 3, but to score a 2.8 is incredible. Amson will go back to serve for Indianola. Early in game number 2, Jags took game 1, 25-17. Pollock, that would be a 3 that she just dropped. Indianola back to the outside and off the block in the middle, and Indianola starting to power through a few of these blocks by the Jaguars. Last year, these two teams started off, it was a reverse sweep for the Jaguars on a late Monday night down in Indianola. On the right side, Schmidt tries to snap it down. Jags not quite as much pop right now in their swings. Blocked down again. Wilson off the tip. Cheeseman goes in the middle. The Ott can't quite put it down. Sloan tipped. Pollock pushes it back. Little panic shot there. On the outside, McGraw, someone was in the net, no call. On the outside, Pollock pushes it through the block for her 6th kill of the night. And Schmidt will go back to serve with us all tied up at 4. Good crowd on hand here tonight. The Jags JV and younger level players have made for quite the student section. Look at Leigh Butters right there to cover the tip as she reads it early. Cheeseman there on the tip. Again, they go to McGraw and tools off the block. And Indianola is taking a 5-4 lead.
Yeah, defensively, Indianola's made the adjustment on the tips. They're starting to get a lot more of those. Those were a lot of the scoring options that, scoring opportunities that the Jags had in that first game. But Indianola's made the adjustment, has been much, much better about being able to pop those up and get their offense running off of those tips.
What a serve receive there. Maddie out on the slide, and it's blocked. Indianola all over it. Now it's the Indians that are starting to get very disruptive on the Jaguars. As McGraw holds the serve. Nice serve. Oh, miscommunication, nobody there for the Jags. Reinhardt had a dive for the serve and no one was there to cover it up, and a little bit discombobulated right now for the Jaguars as McGraw serving keeps everybody unbalanced here. And there's an ace, she powered that one down. Jags didn't even take a step.
Yeah,
and Indianola comes out smoking in game 2. Coach Reinhardt wants a timeout. It's 8-4. Indianola in the lead back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
We're here at US Cellular, Frost Days, where our customers get exclusive deals just for them. It's like we got our own special club. Should we show them?
Get $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet. Us Days at US Cellular.
Indianola on a big run behind the serving of freshman Julia McGraw. A couple aces in there. Jags shift things up in the back row right now. McGraw goes at Reinhardt, who's right there for it. Another slide to Ott, and she hits it long. So Indianola's defense has definitely miffed the Jaguars a little bit and now led to a couple hitting errors as well. McGraw goes at Pollock that time. Reinhardt gonna go to, miscommunication there. Pollock and Cheeseman run into each other. Now on the outside, Pollock off the block. Good hustle over there by McGraw. Jags right there on the tip. Leigh Butters gonna go back row to Reinhardt. Reinhardt gets the kill from the back row. Boy, that's something to add to the scouting report.
Yeah, I mixed it up a little bit. I've been going outside for those panic sets there and switched it up a little bit and gave Reinhardt an opportunity. She took it and scored with it.
Snyder back in on the Hearts of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution. Pollock in to serve. Nice pass up right there by Amsden. Little tip and nobody there as Grover hung in the air a long time, and she's such a powerful hitter. You're really not expecting much of a tip.
Yeah, I think it's the first time they ran the slide all night tonight too. So now that they're going to have to put that in their storage banks and be ready for that little tip over the top of the block.
Back to serve for the Indians. I believe that's Rumley. Leigh Butters. The outside, Snyder. Little miss hit, but it's going to work. Throws a little change up there. Bacchus comes in to serve for Ott. Heather back in the game as well. Jags still in this one, just trying to find the holes in that Indianola defense again like they did in game one. Bacchus, the aggressive serve, is going to send McGraw all the way to the back row. Jags in the middle to Heather. Heather kept alive in the back row. Nice by Rumley. Again to Heather. Tries to hit it down off the block. Can't quite do it. Now they go to the outside. Powerful hit through the block there by Lauren Olson.
Indians are making it work. It's not real super pretty, but they're making things happen and getting points in a row here.
Ott does the three-man weave with Bacchus and Maya Leigh Butters to get Butters back in the game. Madison Grover out of the front row right now. This is a chance for the Jaguars to make a little bit of a comeback, and Grover serves it into the net. That's a good way to do it.
And really probably one of the Jaguars' most suspect maybe serve-receive setups too, when you have both your outside hitters and Butters back there passing. Not that they can't pass well, but you're taking that DS out of there and
the Jaguars can't quite keep it alive as Cheeseman went after that ball after the great serve came back on one pass, and I'm not sure if that ball was even going to stay in bounds that she went after.
Looked like it was going out, but Cheeseman probably did the right thing by playing it and giving the team an opportunity to keep moving.
So it looked like it was going to be an ace for the Jaguars, turns into a point for Indianola. Sloan back to serve. We're going to go back row attack. Pollock tries to drop it in, but right there to cover is Rumley. Pollock diving attempt, keeps it alive. Nice pass by Leigh Butters and the kill for Schmidt. Leigh Butters put that ball off the out-of-system pass right where Schmidt could put it wherever she wanted. Reinhardt back into serve again. Sloan forces the knock over. Cheeseman goes in the middle, and Heather pushes it down. No block there, just a clean swing for Sophie Heather.
Yeah, offense starting to run a little bit better. They're going to have to keep some momentum going here as they're still down by 3 here in the second game. Need to get back into this one.
Get as much as you can with Grover in the back row. They go to the outside, and nice job by Reinhardt to keep it alive again. Leigh Butters goes to Schmidt. Tough to time that one up as a hitter. They go to the middle, tipped up, and Leigh Butters right there again. Back row attack. Reinhardt hits it long.
And you'd stop the bleeding there and keep a hold of their lead as it gets back up to 4 points.
Ooh, Heather right there off the serve, came off the net. Schmidt drops it in the middle of the campfire. So the Jaguars hanging around, but just can't quite get over the hump yet in game number 2 as we're about halfway through. Maya Leigh Butters back to serve. Now's the time to do it with Grover not in the front row. Good serve and an ace for Leigh Butters.
We'll see if the Indians make an adjustment off that short serve. And she serves it long that time.
Indianola going to send the free ball over to the Jags. It's Leigh Butters right there. Goes to the outside. Pollock drops it over on the tip. It comes right back over, though. Cheeseman there to cover. Going to go to the right side with Schmidt. Snaps it down, up, and Maddie Ott was in the net. Otherwise, on the overpass, Maddie Ott was ready to smash it down, but she caught a little bit of the net, and Indianola gets the point.
Yeah, I got a little excited. Just needs to relax on those overpasses, step back, and then push towards that ball rather than jump straight up.
To Maddie Ott, that was a 3-1 fastball right down the middle, and then they go to her again, and she hits it wide. So Indianola's extended that lead back to 4 here in set number 2. Ott's going to come out right now as Sydney Rogers checks in for the first time this season in a Hearts of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution. Amsden back serving once again. Reinhardt overpass on the serve, but kept alive. Rogers tries to push it through. Schmidt, but Indianola covering things much better right now. Free ball, though, coming over. Outside they go. Pollock into the net and blocked back by New. Coach Jess Reinhardt toying around with the idea of taking a timeout. Jaguars just can't quite find their offensive rhythm here in set 2. Here's a chance to do it off the great pass. They go to Schmidt, and that will do it.
Schmidt on the net's going to be hard to stop, especially when I don't think there was even a block up there for her on that one.
Tatum Schmidt so long, just hit straight down on that ball.
She looks taller than 5'11", I'll tell you that.
Her reach, sir, is.
Yeah.
Jags serving has been outstanding so far tonight. Big swing and off the block, out of bounds, and Indianola extends their lead back to 5 once again at 17-12. Jags just cannot get over the hump here in game number 2. Indianola got out to a lead early on and have held on to it all the way through.
Well, you're giving Indianola confidence. You know, they're playing, I don't know if you'd say it's good defense, but they're keeping the ball in play. They're getting it back over.
McGraw, the serve to Cheeseman, who gets the kill.
Changed things up a little bit there, had her run in the middle rather than typical opposite in that situation. So a little bit of a different look, worked out for everyone.
Pollock will go back to serve, Snyder back into the front row. Into the net, another point for Indianola. And a substitution here for the Indians. Kennedy Rumley checks back into the back row to serve. 18-13, Indians in the lead. Leigh Butters again, just a perfect pass. They go in the middle to Rogers, who puts it down. The long arms of Sydney Rogers hang in the air, and she gets the kill back in the corner.
Set was perfect, got that height that Rogers needs on that set, because it is definitely a different set between her and Maddie Ott and what Rogers needs. She got that one. The first one was a little bit low. She just barely got it over the net, but that one was perfect, and she put it away.
Indianola's passing here in set number 2 has been much better. They keep things alive. Pollock with a pass in the back row. Now they go to Heather, who tools it off the block. And the Jaguars sneaking back up in this one.
And this middle work that the Jaguars are doing is going to pay dividends as this match goes a little bit further. That middle blocker is going to have to honor and respect that middle and not going to be able to jump out and would have put a double block on either the outside or the opposite.
Bacchus on the serve. They go to the right side, and Schmidt keeps it alive. Bacchus, and the Jags playing overhand ball here. Out on the outside, big swing. Pollock tries to keep it alive and can't quite do it. And a big swing there on the outside from Lauren Olson. Gets the kill for Indianola, and they're back up to a 4-point lead. Grover back to serve. So they kept it within 4 as Grover heads to the back row. Good pass up. They go in the middle, and Heather hangs in the air and made it very tough on the defense there. Not on purpose, but you do what you can to make that chicken salad.
Yeah, first time they really run that 3 set to the kind of the middle push. It's a quicker push to the middle on the outer side, a little bit further to the outside. First time they've really run that tonight.
Cheeseman continues. The good serving for the Jags. Big swing and tipped down. Big swing, though, on the outside and put down by Lauren Olson, the senior. And now Indianola 5 points away from a Game 2 win. Jags won so many 5-setters a year ago. Indianola was one of them. After they got down 0-2, came back and won 3-2. Would like to not make things as dramatic this year with all the returners they've got. Sloan back to serve. Snyder is going to bump that one over. Now on the outside, Olson hammers it wide. Reinhardt's gone on a couple runs tonight. We'll see if she can do it again.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Reinhardt probably really doesn't feel too bad about her team getting tested early in the season too. Because you roll through with somebody, you know, a lesser quality team and get 3 wins and don't really get tested, it doesn't really help you out further into the season. But this is going to be a good opportunity to show some mettle for the Jaguars and playing through, you know, a game where they've been down and they're starting to eke back into this game with just a 2-point stretch in between them right now.
Well, Indianola has been such a strong program historically, and these teams have played to open up the season now for several years in a row, since COVID really. And the Jaguars are back to a 2018 deficit right now. We'll take a quick break and be back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire. Out of the timeout, Kaylin Reinhardt to serve. Nice pass up as they go to the right side and off the block and out of bounds. A kill there for Olson, another kill for Lauren Olson.
They needed that really desperately to get themselves going right back in the right direction, backed up to a 3-point lead.
Olson, the 6th rotation outside hitter for new coach Jana McGraw. Cheeseman goes on the right side. Schmidt lifted out of there by Olson. Free ball coming back over for the Jags. Chance to run it through the middle. They go to the right side though. Schmidt puts it on the end line.
Heck of a dig over there by Olson though. That Tatum Schmidt went right down that line and she just got enough of her hands there to be able to pop it up off of her palms there to keep it in play.
Maya Lay Butters back to serve. She's been outstanding tonight. Through the block and drops down once again. Indianola hitting with much more confidence here in set number 2.
They're letting it rip. I mean, that's really what it is. They're letting it rip. You know, they're not intimidated in this second game.
It started with their passing. It still hasn't been outstanding, but much more manageable for their 3 setters that they've run through, as Rogers has to get a little creative there. Cheeseman going to go on the outside. Pollock tries to drop it in, but Indianola is all over that spot right now. Quick set over, kept alive, and Schmidt going to have to tip it down. Into the net there by New. So Indianola has given the Jags all they can bargain for here in set number 2. Schmidt back to serve. Good serve there by Schmidt. Big swing by Grover, blocked down. It comes over, and then Rogers once again in the middle. The Jags have 3 middles that they can go to at any time. Sydney Rogers, Sophie Heather, and Maddie Ott. Ott is out right now as Rogers comes in, and she has made her presence known in the middle tonight for the Jaguars, and it's back to a 1-point game. Sloan has to go all the way over. Big swing from Grover off the block and out of bounds. And Indianola 2 points away from a set 2 victory. Another Hearts of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution for Indianola as Hadley Vetter checks into the game. Back to serve is Julia McGraw. She's had a couple nice rallies tonight. Goes at Reinhardt. Jags on the outside. Pollock, big swing, and it's blocked back down by Grover. Game point for Indianola. Timeout for the Jaguars. Back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Phones were made to help us connect, yet somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic. Don't you think? We try to put our phones down, but we need to pick them up to see the menu. We can't watch something without also watching something else.
Ironic.
Ironic.
But look, here's a phone company who wants you to use your phone less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way. Let's find us again with Us Mode. US Cellular, built for us.
Traffic jam. Ugh, and I'm already late.
Back here with set point for set number 2 here. Serving is McGraw for the Indians. Goes at Pollock, nice pass up. Jags go on the right side and is blocked down, but Leigh Butters right there for it. Back row attack, Reinhardt pushes it over. Nice cover there by Vetter. Now on the outside, hit into the net by New. Pollock will go back to serve. Snyder will come in for Reinhardt in the front row. Serve is going to send all the way to the back row. Vetter, who's setting right now. Leigh Butters, though, in the middle they go. And Rogers, once again, Sydney Rogers has come to play in set number 2. The long arms, there's so much margin for error. When she's in there. You can set it wherever.
Just got to get it high. Just got to get it high so she can work around that block. Get it high, and she's good to go.
In the middle, Indianola goes, pushed out, back, and there's no tip called. Indianola wants the tip. They look around, and no official saw it. Point to the Jaguars. Tied up at 24. Indianola wants a timeout. Jags on a roll. Be back right after this.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Rush Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
24-24. Pollock has served 3 in a row to get the Jags back tied up here in set number 2. Floats that one over. They're going to go on the right side. Grover has to tip it up. Leigh Butters right there. Jags run into each other. Nobody there as Leigh Butters covered the tip and crashed into Megan Cheeseman, so she couldn't get over to get the set. And now Indianola has their 3rd set point of the second game. Rumley into serve. Goes at Leigh Butters. Schmidt going to go to Snyder, tips it over, and it's stuffed right back by Grover. Cheeseman. Pass there on the right side, big swing, and a hammer down, and Indianola wins set number 2 off the kill from Lauren Olson, 26-24 in this best of 5. We'll be back with game number 3 after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Freedom Tire is proud to be the title sponsor of supporting Jaguar student athletes through Centennial Digital. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping your family safely on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Come see us at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of Centennial Digital.
All the pets in Ankeny can't wait to see us at Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital. Located just south of Uptown, our family-owned and operated practice has yearly plans with monthly pay options. Your dog or cat can get routine and preventative care before you may ever even know they are sick. From dental care to x-rays to our own pharmacy, we love them like our own. Your pets are our pets at Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital.
What if you could create memories that would last a lifetime? That would be pretty cool. Well, now you can.
West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats, steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts, all raised on local Iowa farms. Shopping local never tasted so good.
Jags with it tied up at 1. We'll send Megan Cheeseman back to serve here in the beginning of set number 3. As the night goes on, volleyball games can get pretty late, especially if you go more than 3. And a couple high-scoring games here to start. 8:30 already. As Cheeseman will go back to serve for the Jags. She's out there with Lay Butters, Pollock, Schmidt, Heather, and Snyder. Indianola heads out with Vetter, Amsden, Grover. Actually, check that, Grover's not in right now. They've got Rumley, McGraw, as well as Olson.
Yeah, McGraw's been impressive tonight as a freshman, coming in here, running some of the offense in one of these sets, but outside hitter in a lot of them as well, and then passing there just like that, it's just right there as well.
Jags out of system here on their first offensive opportunity of set number 3. Big swing there, but Lay Butters once again another dig. Snyder the big swing, dug up in the back row nicely by Amsden. Pollock keeps that one alive somehow. Lay Butters will send it over on the free ball, keeping it short. Amsden out of system, goes to the outside, powered down and dug up by Cheeseman. Now Schmidt tries to end it with the tip, can't quite do it. Right there to covers Lay Butters on the right side. Schmidt finally hammers it down after the marathon. Point number 1. Cheeseman back to serve once again. Nice pass up by Rumley. Big swing blocked down there by Heather.
are definitely swinging away. They're definitely swinging away, not having any fear on the outside. And I think that's what really helped them out of that into that last game, too, is they just kept on swinging.
Well, Austin, you're very involved in the club scene of volleyball. In Indianola, their youth clubs are always so good in the AAU and USA world. So you know they've got talent coming up through all the time. Some great training facilities down there in Indianola with the field house there at the middle school. Very active in the youth scene.
Just a matter of reloading every year. Much very similar to these Ankeny teams that just are perennial powerhouses every year as well.
Sloan back to serve. And she puts it on the line for an ace.
Great serve.
Sloan cut that all the way across the court. And he's going to hit that one long. Indianola, though, has been very aggressive in their serving tonight. Reinhardt checks in once again, another Hearts of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution. Rumley keeps it in the back row there. Big swing, though, down into the net by the freshman McGraw. She's been outstanding, though. You talked about that while we were off the air, but the freshman has played with a ton of confidence tonight.
Yeah, really, really impressed by her so far. Coach's daughter, we're guessing.
Didn't make that connection until shortly after the game started as Reinhardt leaves that one short and into the net. And back to serve will be Lauren Olson. Also checking into the game is Haley New for Indianola. And another serve, 2 errors in a row for the Indians. So earlier that aggressive serving was paying off, but now it's cost them a couple chances at rallies here in set number 3. Early on, though, Jags leading 5-3. Leigh Butters back to serve once again, and she may be the MVP for this Jaguar squad, and she drops another ace in there. That is an outstanding spot to place the serve.
About as a perfect serve as you could get right there, placement-wise.
Right on the line as Leigh Butters back to serve once again. Sloan pushes it to the outside and holds up the momentum there of McGraw. Schmidt going to have to tip it, and it goes out of bounds. So now as you work into set 3 and the inevitable set 4, you're thinking more conditioning can definitely come into play tonight.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of high-quality volleyball, high-intensity volleyball. Ooh, again, Rogers shows that margin for error, but just can't hit it very hard after it put her pretty tight to the net. And it's back to a 1-point lead for the Jags. Amsden back to serve once again, goes at Pollock. Right side, Schmidt puts it down in the back corner. That's so hard to judge as a defender because you're thinking that ball is going to be out of bounds by far. It just hangs in the air a lot longer, but there's a lot more space to play with when you hit it across the court.
There is. So this is a new substitution here, so we're going to have Ott coming in for Cheeseman, so she's going to be playing opposite.
On the right side, yep.
Maybe add a little bit of offensive pop out there, maybe a little bit help with that block out there as well. I mean,
and they go right over her right away. Yeah.
Cheeseman's a good blocker too, so I don't know.
Ooh, wow, Grover hangs in the air forever and slam dunks the ball down.
Everybody was kind of holding their breath thinking it might be called a throw there, or it's actually a carry, I think is what it's technically termed.
McGraw back to serve once again. Overpass, Grover goes up and it's spiked down for the kill.
Grover and Vetter worked together on that one. Both of them swung on that one and put it down.
Knotted up at 7. Little slide to Ott. Tries to use the court. McGraw right there for it. Big swing, blocked again, out of bounds as Indianola started to tool those blocks. They've been working that outside and using that Jaguar block to their offensive advantage quite a bit here in sets 2 and now 3. They keep hammering at Reinhardt in the middle, now on the outside, Pollock, and gets it down off the block for the kill. Jaguars now with a different rotation, so I think Reinhardt will be playing outside right now. Pollock goes back to serve, so a little change up here.
And Reinhardt can play outside too.
Yes.
She's played outside in the preseason as well, so it's going to be definitely going to be a change, but not something that's completely out of the ordinary.
And Grover on the running, almost a slide look, but I think she was playing outside anyway, so it wasn't a slide. Looked like it with the approach. Hits it long.
We'll say unconventional approach.
There we go. That's a good way to describe it. Tight pass. They go to Grover, and she just hangs up in the air forever. Talented athlete, Madison Grover. As Rumley will go back to serve. As Grover just hangs up there, and it's not like basketball. You know, it looks funny because you're thinking it's going to look like a, as Ott pounds it through, but it looks like, you know, you're thinking travel is almost what you're thinking, like in basketball. But
that's the first time the Jags had run that. They ran double quick, so they ran a quick back and a quick front there. Popped it over to Ott on the backside. She put that one away.
Well, you mentioned it brings it just a little bit more offense there.
Yep.
With her on the right side. And no block there as Madison Grover continues her tear in the front row. And Jags fans are happy because now she heads to the back row. Jaguars with a couple substitutions. Heather comes into the game. Leigh Butters, one of the first passes of hers tonight that wasn't just like right where it needed to be, and it still wasn't a bad one. And she's right there for that pass. Jags in the middle. Heather gets blocked and then tries to swipe it back down, and she's there for the block again.
Third time's the charm.
Springy Sophie Heather doesn't stay on the ground long at all. Now Cheeseman comes in to set from the back row. Maddie Ott brought that spark to the right side when she came in there. Not something you can do after a game started. You can't make that adjustment. On the outside, big swing, cross court, and the kill by Olsen.
Yeah, they're going to want to start sliding that block in a little bit. I don't think we've seen them hit down the line very much at all.
Seen a couple tips down the line, but nothing hit hard.
Yeah, so I think we need to pull that, Jags are want to pull that block in a little bit and see if they can get some solid hands on that and put it back over the net.
Sloan goes at Reinhardt. Reinhardt goes down off the block. Back on the right side, the little tip, covered nicely by Schmidt. They're going to go back to Reinhardt. Tries to use the court, but dug up in the back by Grover. There they try to go line. Jags get a hand on it. Now they go on the right side to Schmidt, who's dug up by Rumley in the back. Grover from the back row, big swing through the net. Back to Reinhardt on the outside. No one can get it down. On the outside once again, free ball coming over. Reinhardt swings it all the way around the court.
Smart play. She had seen that as soon as that ball came over. She's like, all 6 players were on the far side of the court and just popped it over to the near side and got the kill.
Looked like a tennis match there for a second, coming back on the first hit, as now Reinhardt goes back to serve. On the attack, big swing and hit long, no tip, and the Jags have now taken their biggest lead of the last 2 games.
Yep.
13-11. Reinhardt with the ace.
She's been going so deep most of the match and then comes up with a shorter one. It's going to be a timeout for the Indians here as the 3-point lead here for the Jaguars.
Jags in the lead back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Rush Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
Back in action here with Reinhardt, back serving. Kaylin Reinhardt has made a name for herself nationally in the beach game, but first time seeing her on the hard court tonight as McGraw tries to power tip it to the corner. Now on the outside, Pollock off the top of the block, kept alive though. Out of system ball for the Indians. Tipped over and kept alive, and not so much as Pollock and Cheeseman make some contact there in the middle, and Indianola is going to bring in once again Haley New. Olsen will serve for the Indians. Punches at that one. Good pass up by Reinhardt in the middle. They go Heather to the left hand, but dug up nicely by Wilson. And another kill through that block. They're not getting it closed up like you mentioned and allowing Indianola to use a lot of the court. As Olsen goes back to serve once again. Tight one here tonight on the north side of Ankeny. Leigh Butters going to go on the outside off the out-of-system ball. Pollock tries to drop it in and up over the net, and Schmidt goes up and hammers it down with a two-handed stuff.
That ball
out-of-system ball worked out well for the Jags.
Yeah, went straight down.
I like this rotation the Jags are using right now, just a little bit of a change-up. Like what Rogers has brought to the game here tonight. Indianola on the right side, dead-handed it over, and a miscommunication again, back row. Reinhardt can't get it down. McGraw tipped off the block in the middle, and somehow Leigh Butters kept it alive, and then Reinhardt covers a lot of ground in the back. Now Pollock tries to drop it in, overpass, and Rogers stuffs it down.
That could be the big play of the match right there. Is that going to be the turning point to give the Jags some momentum to get a little bit bigger of a lead there? Great play on both sides of the net, though.
Jags are verifying that Leigh Butters can indeed serve right now, making sure they're in the right spot, because the rotation has been tinkered with a little bit here in game number 3. And they're talking about who has to go where. So it will be Leigh Butters back to serve.
So a coach can ask for a server check to make sure they got the right server in that position. So it's almost like a timeout just to make sure they're in the right rotation when there has been some chaos or has been some adjustments to the lineup.
Nice pass for Indianola, and the ball's punched out of bounds, and Jags have extended their lead now in set number 3.
Indians got to get that ball back outside. That's where all their success has been pretty much this whole match. Got to get that ball to the outside.
Just a little breathing room for the Jags with Grover out of the front row. They've got a lot more talent up there as that one off the top of the block for McGraw. Jags now on the outside. Pollock spikes it down. (18-13). Jags extending.
Honestly, it still seems like it's much closer than that as well.
It does. Leigh Butters into the net. And now Grover checks back in, so keep an eye on number 10 for Indianola. The offense will run through her when she's in the front row. This first rotation through will still include McGraw, so they have a couple hitters there in the front row. As a little bit of an overpass there, and Rogers keeps it alive. Swipe back over, and somehow the Jags keep it alive. Pollock got the pushover.
Oh!
Another pass. Pollock drops it over once again. Now Indianola sets it for the first time in system. The dead hand dug up. Cheeseman gonna go to Schmidt. Can't get the point. Overpass. Look out!
Oh, net,
and
net.
there's a net, and it was the Jaguars' point as Grover was in the net. That was a scrappy point.
Yeah,
Both teams.
defensive prowess of the Jaguars just reared its head there with a, there was a pancake, I think, on there from Cheeseman.
Somehow Ellie Pollock, facing the Jaguars crowd, was able to push the ball over without getting a double. It happened so quick, I'm not sure they had a chance to make a call there, but man, there was so much that happened in that point. 19-14, Jaguars in the lead. We'll keep it right here right now as Jags trying to close this one out in set number 3. Indianola was so good in set number 2, but Jaguars have come roaring back. The defense, it's not the blocks that have been there for the Jags, but the scrappiness in the back row now in set number 3.
Just keeping the ball in play. So I think that's one of the small changes maybe that they've made right here is just not necessarily going for the huge hits, but keeping the ball in play, and it's led to some Indianola mistakes and instead of the terminations by the Jaguars. So
good crowd here tonight on the north side of Ankeny for this non-conference game between Indianola and Ankeny Centennial, as Tatum Schmidt will go back to serve once again. Pass goes way wide, and when Grover has to take the second one, that makes things a lot easier on the Jaguars' defense. They go in the middle. Rogers blocked back, but Leigh Butters right there for it. Now on the right side, Ott with a huge swing. Little miscommunication there as the left-handed tip blocked over once again. Pollock pushes it to the back.
Oh, yes. Smart play by Pollock. That's some of that DS specialist that she's been playing in the offseason and last year a little bit. Came to light there and made a great play by pushing that ball over to the back corner.
Got everybody drawn in on the defensive end. Nice serve there by Schmidt. Going to be another free ball coming over. Blocked up and actually down. Indianola, a couple times, so it looked like it was going to be free balls. You talked about it. They're constantly hitting down balls. They've got a lot of topspin on them. It's made it tough for the Jags to get a good pass off it.
Yeah, we talked about off air there a little bit, is that the Jags need to really capitalize on those down balls that the Indians are sending over, and they've done that here, and it's led to the lead here as they're able to lengthen a little bit with the serve.
Another service error as Pollock heads back to serve. Reinhardt will move to the outside spot here in the front row. Rogers, Ott, Schmidt, and Leigh Butters in there. So set comes to the outside and into the net, is not there on the timing in the connection between Vetter and New. Pass, they run it through the middle, and a nice kill there by Grover once again, and that's where they're going to go when she's in the front row right now. They've got one more rotation through with her in the front row. As Rumley heads back to serve. Leigh Butters kept alive. Free ball coming over by Leigh Butters. Targets the setter. And an out-of-system ball for the Indians. Dug up by Pollock. Outside, Reinhardt. Big swing, and it goes off the antenna.
Yep. Side out.
Caught the edge. And just like that, it's down to 21-17. Jaguars were up by 7. Excuse me, 22-17. I was off a point there. And an ace serve coming through there by Rumley. Indianola breaking in a lot of new players. Jaguars breaking in some new players at some key spots tonight, and some other players not in the same positions they were at a year ago. So every team working out some kinks. Jaguars want a timeout, though. Coach Reinhardt wants to make an adjustment. We'll be back right after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Freedom Tire is proud to be the title sponsor of supporting Jaguar student athletes through Centennial Digital. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping your family safely on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Come see us at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of Centennial Digital.
Little M&M taking us into the 22-18 point here for the Jags. Rumley back to serve. And that's going to go long. Another service error for Indianola. Bacchus checks in to serve for the first time here in set number 3. Nice serve, sends the setter, McGraw to the back row. Tip over, covered up by Schmidt. Can he go right side to Ott, a little down ball. Another out of system ball for Indianola.
Here's one they got to capitalize on.
Can't do it though, they drop it in the right spot and Jags have to go back with a down ball again. Another down ball coming through. Here's a chance to do something with it. Schmidt comes to the outside. Reinhardt looks like it might have been going long, but got picked up by Indianola, and the Jags get the point. It's game point. And punch
nice
through.
rep.
Another point for the Indians. Game point number 2 for the Jags. Grover in the back row now to serve. Goes at Pollock. They go to Heather, and Heather we haven't heard as much of in the third game, but comes through there with the game point. And the Jaguars take the 2-1 lead. We'll be back with game number 4 after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
We're here at US Cellular, Frost Days, where our customers get exclusive deals just for them. It's like we got our own special club. Should we show them?
Get $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet. Us Days at US Cellular.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Drosh Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
Game number 4 with the Jaguars in the lead 2-1 in this season opener for both teams tonight. It's a season opener around the state. Not everybody playing tonight. A lot of teams will play on the traditional Tuesday night or Thursday night. Jags have a huge tournament coming up this weekend. It features, I think it was 13 out of the 16 teams are ranked that are going to be at their tournament on Saturday. You can be here to catch the action starting at 8 in the morning and watch some really, really good volleyball with 3 courts going on. 4 courts, actually, it is. Jaguars will be in a pool with Dyke New Hartford and Valley. And who was the other one? I can't remember now. It's another
Pleasant
ranked
Valley?
team. No, that's not in their pool, but Pleasant Valley's at the tournament. Waukee Northwest, Ankeny Christian's not here this year. But just a ton of talented teams. It'll be Indianola set to serve here. And Bailey Snyder back in the lineup. They're going to go to Heather on a slide, and she goes cross court, uses every inch of the court.
Yeah, Snyder coming in a little cold after having some time on the bench. Passes a dime there, allows them to run the slide on the backside. And like you said earlier, all that space on that court, those long balls just end up lighting right into that corner.
And KK Reinhardt comes in with an ace.
I feel like the Indians are going to need to get some action going here right away in this 4th game, or the Jags may run away with this one pretty quickly.
Have passed the 9 o'clock hour here on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire. The power tip there is blocked by Pollock, and then Heather hangs in the air, and Leigh Butters keeps it alive. Schmidt tries to put it down off the top of the block and does. Reinhardt back to serve once again. It's a school night. First time we've been able to say that in a while in our productions. Nice pass up there to Sloan and blocked down by Heather. Jaguars off to a quick start here in set number 4. Their rotation with Reinhardt in the back row, it has a lot to do with Reinhardt's serves because she gets a lot of out-of-system balls. But the Jags have scored a lot in that tonight. No tip there, and that's going to be another point for the Jags. And Indianola early here in set number 4, starting already to approach the danger zone.
It's not very often Indianola, they're hiding their libero on serve receive. Something you don't see very often.
They go right back to her again. There's a great pass up to Sloan. Big swing down. Someone was in the net, no call. Back row attack to Reinhardt, and she gets another kill from the back row. Overpass comes through, and what started off as a great look for the Jags ends up being a point for Indianola. Olsen back to serve, punches that at Reinhardt. Jags on the outside. Pollock power tips it to the corner. Nice job, though, by Sloan to come through and keep it alive, and that ball is put right on the line, cut right down the line. Tough angle there.
McGraw with the kill.
From McGraw, yeah. Olsen back to serve for the Indians. In the middle, Heather gets blocked, but Leigh Butters right there. Now they go to the right side. Schmidt's blocked. Now they come to the outside. Pollock rolls it through. Nice job in the back row, dug up, and tight one. Nobody was in the net apparently. Punched over, and Cheeseman right there to cover. Now they go back to Schmidt. She rolls it down in the campfire. The longer the points have gone on tonight, I feel like the Jags' chances of success have gone up and up.
Absolutely.
We mentioned the hitters not as terminal this year, but very scrappy defensively. Pass up, they go to McGraw on the outside. She punches it through the block and gets the kill. Both teams having to manufacture some points here tonight. And back to serve is Amsden. Goes at Reinhardt, nice pass up, and they go to Rogers. And a collision in the middle between Cheeseman and Reinhardt. And Indianola's right back in this one at 7-4. Amsden serve, goes at Pollock. Gonna go on the right side. Schmidt rolls it through, but nicely passed up by New. Gonna go in the middle, tip comes over, Pollock right there for it. Right side, Schmidt down, and the ceiling kept it in. They don't get the home court bounce there. Now on the outside, Pollock off the block. Back row, Reinhardt down from the back row. Jags used 4 different hitters on that point.
Yep.
Tatum Schmidt back to serve. Sloan pushes it to the outside. Big swing and through the block. Grover once again. Need to make a petition to the girls' union to make these numbers bigger.
Yeah.
Having a tough time picking that up.
And no ponytails. I don't know.
And no ponytails, yes.
I don't know how he could do that, but.
Jags get saved that time by the ceiling on their own side. And
Butters!
Reinhardt finds, Leigh Butters finds the back line. And it's 9-5. Reinhardt wanted to stay in and play outside and realized quickly it was her time to come out. Snyder back into the front row in a Hearts of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution. Ellie Pollock back to serve. Expanding on her role as a serving specialist from a year ago. Floats that one over. Gets a tough one as it's set up there by Vetter. Pollock passes from the back row. They go to Rogers. Rogers has found a way to hit it hard from about anywhere on the court. Leigh Butters flying all over the place tonight. Now on the outside, Snyder. Kept alive. Now they go on the outside, off the block. Dug up by Pollock once again. Now on the outside, and Snyder tried to tip it and just left it short. And Rumley checks into the game. Leigh Butters has been a steady rock for the Jaguars tonight. Now Rogers from the right side gets it done.
The key to that hit though is the high set to the outside. We've been running some tempo with Tatum on the outside, but Rogers going to be a little bit of a slower approach. Needs that height to be able to get up on top of the ball. Beautiful step by Schmidt to give Rogers the opportunity to put that ball down.
Bacchus into serve. Jags been hammering that back line tonight on their serves, and Grover can just put that ball wherever she wants when they get it to her in rhythm. She goes to the back row now to serve. Hard serve at Pollock. Ott, return to sender there in the block from Lauren Olson. Couple undersized front row players battling it out. Indianola right back into this one at 10-8.
That was a good run, just better blocked.
And that serve going to go long, and Indianola haven't kept the stat tonight of their service errors, but it's been a bunch. Cheeseman on the serve. On the flip side, the Jags, I can only think of 2 service errors that the Jags have had tonight. And they've done it by getting some aces as well. Jags going to be a team of letting other teams make mistakes this year, the way they play defense, and they've made fewer tonight. Sloan back to serve. Leigh Butters will send this over. Very long. Grover, nice pass up though. Sloan pushes it back. And that can't stay in. Indianola has it down after trailing by 5, 6 even. They've got it down to a 1-point lead for the Jags, and they're doing it with Grover in the back row. Leigh Butters again. Heather on the slide, pass up, goes off the ceiling. Kept alive, blocked down by Snyder. Big swing and tipped. Overpass, spike down. Indianola's tied it up. Nothing coming easy right now for the Jaguars after a fast start. Sloan back to serve once again. On the right side, Snyder, dug up by Sloan. Going to be out of system here for Indianola. Off the tip. Now to Schmidt. Haven't heard much from Schmidt. They've kept her, she's been setting, so we haven't got the chance for her to kill the ball. Does it there, gets the kill. Gets the serve back to the Jags, and Kaylin Reinhardt. Hammering that back line. In the middle, punched over. Schmidt, again, dug up by Rumley. Oh man, that's hard. Ball stays alive, and they are going to say it hit the ground. So Olsen gets it to drop despite the attempt at the pancake from Cheeseman. Indianola comes in with Haley New again. Olsen will go back to serve. Nice serve, man. That ball dropped off the table. Indianola's taken their first lead here in set number 4. Olsen off the net that time. Cheeseman to the outside. Overpass there, up to block it, and they're going to say, point to Indianola that Schmidt was over the net too far. So Indianola has battled back. They lead 14-12. Jags have not been able to muster up the points here after the big start. And over the net and an ace, and now it's time for a timeout for the Jaguars. We'll be back. Indianola on a big run here on the north side tonight. Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Dear Cable Internet, I've met someone I can rely on, who moves my speed and is okay with how much I work. I'm sorry, but US Cellular Home Internet and I just have a stronger connection.
Get connected with US Cellular's home internet for just $39.99 when bundled with a wireless plan, plus a 3-year price lock guarantee. US Cellular, built for us.
West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats. Steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts. All raised on local Iowa farms. Local never tasted so good.
Back in action, Olsen still serving. Keeps playing with that net. Jags keep it in. Tips come all over, and Indianola's had some ugly points. The Jags get an ugly one there. Still worth one.
Absolutely. This will be the rotation that we've been kind of liking from the third game and the fourth game here too. So we'll see if Jags can maybe go on a run with Butters back, Leigh Butters back serving.
Good pass up. They go in the middle to Grover. Jags get a hand on it. Can he go to the right side? Schmidt straight down, but dug up once again. Olsen in the back. Pushed deep, but Reinhardt there for it. Jags can go to the outside. Has to stay in. Pollock has to push it across.
First dump of the night, I think.
And mistiming on the set to the middle. The timing hasn't been there as much here as this game 4 has worn on. Indianola up 16-13. Jags leading games 2-1. If Indianola can win this, we'll go to set 5. Right side, Schmidt has to tip it over. Set too far off the net. Jags get a hand on that one. Back to the middle, Grover pounds it through, and they say it was down. And with Madison Grover there in the middle, the Jags have had tough sledding tonight.
I don't know if that's a line judge's call, is it? I don't see that line judge making that call very often, but maybe we do have state officials here, making the calls tonight, so I could be wrong. I just don't remember seeing that call being made a lot.
Pollock goes cross court and puts it on the line, using every inch she can. Maddie Ott checks back in now in the front row. Schmidt will head back to serve, trailing 17-14. Good pass there. They go on the outside. Grover on the 3-meter line, hammers it down.
Wow.
Indianola's passing off serve receive has been so much better since game number 1, and it allows them to do stuff like that.
Yeah. Just was patient, allowed that ball to get past that block, and just destroyed it.
McGraw back to serve. Goes at Reinhardt. Pollock tries to tip it through. Oh, they were okay. It was tipped out of bounds off the block. All right.
Tooled it off the block.
Notice that.
Yep.
I wondered why she was cheering after the point. Thought I was going to have to explain to my own daughter the rules of volleyball, but she one-upped me there. She heads back to serve. 18-15. Again, a good serve receive. Allows him to put it in the middle to Grover, and she goes off the tip, and another point for Indianola. I don't have Indianola stats tonight, but Madison Grover's kill count just keeps climbing. Rumley checks in to serve. Ott tries to keep it alive. Somehow Madison Grover slam dunks that one down. Now on the outside, Snyder goes cross court, dug up by Amsden. Power tip is blocked down and out of bounds. Indianola with a point. Indianola has been on an absolute tear since trailing 7-1 to start this game. Jags have not been able to get into sync offensively. Outside, Snyder off the block, dug up nicely. Indianola to the right side, tipped up by the Jags. Leigh Butter's going to go to Cheeseman. Cheeseman gets the kill. No one from Indianola is going after it. I was waiting to see someone shot out there.
Yeah.
Jags with some Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitutions as Nora Bacchus checks in to serve. Sophie Heather comes into the front row. Keep this game manageable now with Grover in the front row. Chance to go to her right now. They don't. Big swing, blocked down. And into the net. Jags with another point.
All right, I'd be looking to maybe even get a triple block on the middle here as this serve receiver comes. I will guarantee probably quite a bit that they're going to run this middle right now.
Well, I'm not even sure a triple block matters the way Grover hits it over everybody right now. That'll help if they're setting from behind everything. And they try to punch it in through there with Olsen into the net.
And Indianola's just getting away from what's been working with them this whole match. Is just keeping it in play. Going to call a timeout and try to get her players back on track.
Well, right now the serves, the sets have been forced to come back from the 10-foot line. It makes it a lot harder to run your offense through the middle.
And what they've been doing the whole time is just getting that ball back over, with the power tips. But right now they're just trying to get too creative with those pushes and are not keeping it in play.
As we move on here, 20-18, Jags in the lead. They lead 2-1. If Indianola can hang on here, we'll play a set 5, and it feels like the last couple of years we've hung around for a lot of 5-setters calling Ankeny Centennial volleyball as Nora Bacchus continues her serve streak. Late night here on the north side of Ankeny. On a school night for the first time this year. Bacchus' serve. There's how they want to run it through the middle, and they do, and she hits it into the net. First time they've been able to get it to Grover and setting up tighter to the net.
Set was just a little bit too low, just out of tempo, and Grover couldn't do anything with it.
Jags back within 1. They just trailed 20-15. Bacchus gets it up off the ceiling, so a free ball will be coming over. Issues for Indianola. Jags in tempo. Heather can't quite get the kill, kept alive. Great play by Amsden. They go back to Heather in the middle. The tip, she gets it to fall. Indianola in the net anyway. Tied up at 20. Keeping Indianola out of system right now. Bacchus continues her streak. That's 5 in a row. Chance to go to Grover again. They don't. They go to the outside and blocked down by Cheese and Heather. Roofed. Cheese and Heather might have ended their careers with that celebration after that block. 21-20. Jags have taken their first lead in a long time. It's all behind the serving of Nora Bacchus. Here's a chance to go in the middle once again. Blocked again, and then Grover off the rebound puts it back down. Jags want her in the net. Everybody wants her in the net. Everybody was yelling right away. No call made.
I was thinking more of like that carry than net, but
Grover's been getting away with it all game, so they're obviously not going to call. That didn't look any different than any others that she's put down.
Just looked ugly.
But she goes to the back row right now. All
Yep.
tied up at 21 here in set number 4. Right side, Cheeseman gets it down, 22-21.
Yeah,
Cheeseman
Reinhardt
heads to the back row.
Reinhardt definitely pulling the right strings. He put Cheeseman back into the front row. She had made a change earlier in the games there to put Ott into that opposite. Pulled Cheeseman back in. She gets a block and a kill. And now in the back row setting.
Schmidt off the block and the kill. Jags 2 points away from the season opening win. Good serve by Cheese once again. They just have not been able to get solid hits, and that power tip goes out of bounds, and it's match point for the Jaguars. Austin, you'll be back in action tomorrow night at Ankeny for that quad. Cheeseman serve off the net. Kept alive, Indianola powers it through and out of bounds, and the Jaguars start the season 1-0, and more importantly, for my post-game trip to Cabaret, the Jags keep it at 4 and not to 5.
Yeah, great play by the Jags tonight. Experienced some adversity, but Indianola came tonight to play. They've got to gain a lot of confidence going into their season, even though they come up with a loss here tonight.
That Indianola squad's going to win a lot of volleyball games this year.
They are.
Jaguars, it's going to take a while to find an identity. The identity the last couple of years has been so much of Miller and Pratt, but tonight, the balance spread things around. You saw a lot of girls get up there around 7, 8, 9 kills.
Yep.
I think Schmidt and Pollock were into double figures, but it's their defense that's going to keep them in games all year.
Absolutely. Great game tonight.
All right, Austin Oliver, Andy Pollock here. Another production of Girl Dad Media here on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Freedom Tire is proud to be the title sponsor of supporting Jaguar student athletes through Centennial Digital. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping your family safely on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Come see us at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of Centennial Digital.